So this mummy makeover, please educate me.
Tummy tuck, so taking off the hanging skin, doing your breasts, breast uplift, and getting the BBL. Just physical, it's just
That's
gonna be fun.
You've got a lot of assets to you. You look aesthetically good. You're providing happiness to men.
Yeah.
What sort of DMs are you getting?
There's men who say, I love your body shape. There's men and women who can message me saying, when I was 20 weeks pregnant, I had a car accident. I had a stroke. I fractured my waist. I couldn't have normal birth. But doing honest jobs is hard.
What's the dishonest jobs?
Jobs I wouldn't do would be like OnlyFans.
Welcome back to Take a Seat. This is the #1 channel for mindset and motivation. Boy, have I got a guest for you today. Have you ever thought about having cosmetic surgery? Well, sometimes no matter how far you get ahead in your life, there's certain things holding you back. For some people, it could be their weight, the ways their nose is shaped, and they can't get up on stage or take their message to another level because they're afraid. So today's guest has actually started her own business. She's helping other people through the whole journey and going to the right people when it comes to this topic. So if you want to know all about entrepreneurship, you want to know all about body shaping and how to learn about where's the right place to go, then this podcast is for you. So before we get any further, please make sure to smash the subscribe button and share this with somebody who needs it. So please welcome Raquel.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. The last time we met, we were actually both on a different podcast, right?
Yes, we were.
How was that for you?
It was great. It was a great experience. I liked the topic and discussing everything they were talking about when it comes to love and couples and relationships, etc. So it was very interesting.
Yeah. So what was your favorite thing about that podcast in terms of what was the topics that sort of came out in terms of,
If you're into monogamy or not. I think that was really good.
What does that mean?
If you're having more than one person in a relationship.
Okay.
And when should you tell your partner about that?
Wow.
Yeah.
Should you be telling your partner about it?
Of course, right at the beginning, if you agree with it or not.
So basically that means when you're getting in a relationship with somebody, but you're telling them that you're seeing somebody else as well.
Yeah, so having 2 wives, for example, or 2 girlfriends in this circumstance.
Is that a thing?
Apparently, yeah. I didn't even know. I was like, no, to me it's only one, but it was an open-minded one there, so it was nice.
Okay, so what if you met a guy and you really liked him and then, you go on a date, you like each other, you meet up again and he goes, look, I really like you, Raquel, but I'm actually seeing somebody else.
No,
but
that wouldn't work for me. It's a big no.
Not a chance.
No.
Okay. Do you think a man could love more than 2 women?
That question's been popping up a lot on social media and podcasts. I don't believe a man can love more than 2 women.
Why?
Because if you love someone, then your feelings wouldn't go to somebody else. That's what I believe. If you're going to somebody else, then there's something wrong in the first place in that relationship. That's what I believe. So loving, the proper word of love is strong. So for you to love someone, how are you going to love somebody else? That's a bit, to me now, being attractive to someone else is a different topic. Feeling the whole, maybe that little physic feeling of someone or having that little, butterflies in the stomach, someone else can bring that to you. That's different than you loving someone. That's what I believe.
So do you think a man can love somebody and then be attracted to other women?
Because we're humans. There's always going to be out there men and women who you're going to feel attracted to because we have eyes. But going from an attraction to speaking to being involved with someone, then that's a long path.
Here's the thing, do you think that men and women are different?
When it comes to these situations?
When it comes to people would say that for a woman to sort of cheat.
Oh, it's different than men. Yeah, 100%. I believe in that. I don't know. I know that times have changed and women are more open-minded, but I believe that once it comes to women cheating, it's not because, I felt that he was attractive and now I'm just going to go and cheat. I think it involves a lot mentally as well. What is going on in her mind and what's going on in the relationship? And is she getting attention? Is she not? Is he being there for her? Is he not? Not excusing why they do it, but I think that is the main reason why it happens, though.
And so, do you feel that when or if a man cheats on a woman, that it's because he doesn't love the woman he's with?
No, he can love her, but men are more physical.
Yeah.
Men,
Yeah.
they'll just go with the flow. If they know, like, oh, I won't get caught and this is like just a nightstand or anything. Some men, yeah, they'll just do it and then they don't think about the consequences.
And is there or should there be consequences? Because, they're playing devil's advocate here. Certain men could be like, yo, I love this woman. I'm with her. But yeah, all right, like exactly what you said. I won't get caught and I'm going to do my thing with this girl. There's no emotional connection.
Just physical. It's just going to be fun.
Wham, bam, thank you, man. Boom, done. And that's it. Like, if a man's programmed like that, because if you're going to cave times, like, men were programmed to, well, basically, there's actually studies been found that men would go out to hunt and then come back. And then if he had all the women there, he would be the protector and provider for these girls. And there'll be certain times that even if he wandered off too far and he couldn't get back, the cold, the winters, and he found another cave and there was, other women there, then he would just move on to that sort of, because it was just how they are programmed.
Yeah.
Where societal pressures have changed quite somewhat of this is right, this is wrong, this is marriage, this is a document signed.
I believe it's not about titles. I believe it's about respect in the end. Because if you're with a man, if I'm with a man and I let him just be who he wants to be, it can bring a lot of consequences health-wise and getting any things that are out in the world now, and self-respect and self-worth. That's what
okay. So if that was your point, what if he says I'm using protection?
No, it's the self-respect and the self-worth. This is what I mean. Like, I wouldn't be in an open relationship like that, ever. I've never been. So, but I know couples who do it, and they even do it together sometimes. But
wow.
I don't know. I don't judge them, but I wouldn't get into that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. What a topic. I hope my mum ain't watching this.
Good way to
start. So tell me, so the podcast that you went on, how did them lot find you to get you on? And what
I knew China. I've spoken to China before, and we've met through Instagram, and then he approached me to go and talk about my surgeries and why did I do surgery and what was the whole situation about me. And then he put my name down for that podcast, and they've invited me. And I've met other wonderful people there. So I met you.
There we go. Your network, hey? You're always... how important is networking for you?
I've done network marketing for a long, long time.
I've done
companies. I've done network marketing companies in terms of recruiting and building a team and selling products, etc. But I've never found my niche in that way. I like the fact that they do a lot of mindset, and that's where I've learned all about law of attraction and manifestations and vision boards and listening to audio people speaking and motivational speakers. So it was amazing because I've never knew a lot about mindset and law of attraction until I started network marketing. And that's when I was like, I like this. So I started to do manifestations and law of attraction every single day to achieve the things that I wanted to achieve in my life. Mm-hmm. And believe it or not, it works. As long as you stay consistent, you can't expect your life to change tomorrow. But if you stay consistent and it's all about what you speak, what you say, it comes. This is what I've learned a lot. So law of attraction. So I would claim it like it's already happened. I would imagine my life like it's already happening and where I want it to be. And things just started to fall and come. It was great.
100. I like that. I really do like that because, a lot of people think is manifestation, is this a thing? If I think it, if I see it, if I write it on a vision board.
Yeah.
But it's one of these things is where people say that, there's famous people who've even come up with quotes like, if I asked you this morning is like, how many yellow cars did you see?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, someone might say, I don't know. Like, but if I said, hey, I'm going to give you £100 for every yellow car
you'd
you
be
see,
focused on the yellow car.
You'd be focused.
I know that.
And it thinks it could be a manifestation, could be as simple as that of just thinking about what you want and putting it into fruition, and making things happen. You said that for a long time, you didn't really know a lot about mindset.
Yeah.
So at what age did you start discovering, hey, I need to take a
It
second
was
look and think about?
where I've put work to it and kind of went deep with it was from 2019, I would say. So
Okay.
yeah, not too long ago.
So about
5 years.
ago,
Yeah.
you're probably just before your 30s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I started.
So that's kind of like deep that you've got nearly 30 years of your life in a certain mindset, a certain way,
Yeah.
and not given things a certain thought, if that makes sense.
I had a very negative mind before. So because of things that happened throughout my life, I've grown up really quick. I started to live by myself since my 15 and working. So it was always hustling and challengings in life. And
How comes? How comes you moved at 15?
Because of family problems and things didn't go very well. So
Was you born here?
no, I was born in Portugal.
Okay, you were
Yeah.
born in Portugal.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was good. Portugal is hard though. Portugal is not easy. The food and the weather is amazing, but in terms of living and cost of living, especially for me, if you're a mom, it's really hard. It's really hard.
Hey, but you're beautiful, man.
I know. But doing honest jobs is hard.
Honest jobs.
Yeah, like I was working in shops, I was working in restaurants, but
Okay.
I could never make the ends meet. It's
What's
hard.
the dishonest jobs?
Huh?
So what's the dishonest jobs?
Jobs I wouldn't do would be like OnlyFans or something like that, where you can earn a lot of money. But it's just, again, it's my self-respect and self-worth.
Hey, like there's people like Kerry Katona out there. I don't know if you know her from
Yeah.
Atomic Kitten, and you know.
But to
a
me,
few of
it's
them.
like it's not very honest, but it doesn't mean that person is a bad person. They just have a different mindset than me. They're more open-minded, and I don't judge anyone for it. But would I do it myself? No. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Certain people might say, you know, you've got a lot of assets to you. You look aesthetically good. You're providing happiness to men.
Yeah.
And you're getting rewarded with a lot of money. Like people
Yeah.
are becoming millionaires overnight. You know.
Yeah, I know.
Bing,
I know.
bing,
I
bing,
heard
bing,
about it.
bing. But that doesn't motivate you.
No, I wouldn't do that. I don't think I would even have, like, I might have the body, but I wouldn't have the personality to be that open-minded and not feel well enough to go and expose myself like that.
Me personally, I actually really rate that. You know, I really do, because I do feel that personally, I'm just old school like that. I just think a woman should respect herself and her body.
Yeah.
I could never be with somebody who is flaunting her body to other people. Then what's special about this woman? Then you know,
Exactly.
you know.
It's to keep that respect and even to make it authentic and different. So when the man actually gets to the point of getting to know me and my body, etc., then it's more of a reward than just, oh, it was easy, got it done, and yeah. And other men be like, yeah, I know, been there, I've seen it on TV or it's on this video, and yeah.
It's weird because women these days have, like, you know, I'm born in the late 80s, yeah. You know, and
so am I.
Grown up in the 90s. Yeah, there's only a few years difference. I'm only a few years older than you. But, you know, the way women are today is very different to how it was in the 90s, noughties, you know. And now it's like there's all these different terminologies that are out, you know. Don't body shame me. Don't talk about me like this. Let me do what I want. I can do what I want, how I want. I own this.
Woman empowerment.
You know, and yes, I believe in a way women and men are equal, but in different things. You know, men have their strengths and women have their strengths, but I feel that women are taking over the world.
Yeah,
there's more CEOs out there, you know.
But that's where still the problem hangs, and that's one of the videos I saw of a motivational speaker was about, like, women. She was saying, like, I don't want to be able to carry 50 kilos and have big muscles like a man, but I do want to be respected as I can be a mom and I can be a CEO at the same time and not be questioned about it. When it comes to men, if they say, oh, I have run a business, I spend majority of my time out of the house and I have 3 kids and I'm married, they won't question him. But if it's a woman, they will question her. Oh, how do you find time for your children? How are you a mom and you run a business? Oh, so you're lacking on something. But why? Why is it being judged right away? Because it's a woman speaking. And that's what I think, that society is still very close-minded when it comes to that and judging about that. So that's where I think women want more freedom and be able to speak. And yeah.
What about if you have, like, strong men out there and they're providing and all they're worried about is, hey, I'm bringing the bread, I'm putting food on the table. I'm looking after my woman. But if she's out doing the same thing, then who's bringing the children up? I'm going to have a good life. I'm achieving my goals. But now who's look after the kids? It's all the social media. It's all of these programs. Is they're getting brainwashed. So when I come home, my kid's not even saying, hi, daddy. He's like, oh, hi. Like, I'm just a computer. He's like, hey, you're being rude. He's like, how am I being rude? Like, they're getting all
that's
smart.
happening a lot in terms of how children are being brought up now. Like before, I used to go play outside and get hurt on my knees, come home bleeding even from running around in the parks, and that's how children would play and interact with each other. But now it's just technology has developed so much, and I feel like people are they're busier and they have less time to dedicate to their children because everything is more demanding. You work extra hours. Life is not easy. So then it's the easy way out to keep them quiet. So here, take the tablet, take the phone, or go play PlayStation or something like that.
But don't you think that's the easy, lazy way out?
Yeah.
So here you go. Here's a tablet. Yeah. I do feel that, I like the sort of the old school way of having time for your kids because that's your next generation. And I also like the fact of, don't get stuck in the system. Don't get stuck in the matrix, as they say. Because
but sometimes it's hard because even if you don't, for example, I have 5 kids. So it gets to points where I'm like, go watch TV, just let me breathe for a minute. But then it's like all of his friends, what do they do? Oh, you want to go outside, play in the park? They'll be like, what? No. Like, log in, let's go play Roblox or let's go play Call of Duty. I'm logging in now. And then the kids will come to you and say, oh, but my friend is online. I want to play with him now. Oh, so it gets harder to still maintain the back in the days type of thing, technology, which wasn't so developed.
So I have a question for you.
Sure.
Obviously it's hard to manage kids and be everywhere. What inspires you to have 5 kids?
What inspired me? No, so when I was with my ex-partner, he wanted to have children.
Was you married?
Yes, I was.
Okay. And how old was you when you got married?
2021.
Your first marriage, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
One and only.
Right. Okay. One and done.
Yeah. So it was more of what my thought was, if you want to have children and more than one, I don't want to go through the stage of doing the nappies and then stopping and then doing it again and then stopping. So I just said, I'll just have it all done. So
work it out.
Once one is done with nappies, they're all done with nappies.
So hang on, there's 2021 with 2024, it's 3 years, you've got 5 kids.
Yeah, but we started dating in 2018.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I already had a child from my previous relationship.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So can we start back, rewind it back to your first kid? Like, so when did you meet your first partner that you had a kid with?
2009.
2009. And that's when you had a kid, is it?
Yeah, I had it in 2010.
In 2010. All right. So that was your first relationship. Was that the right decision for you?
No.
Okay. And how long did you know this partner for before you're having a kid?
We knew each other 2 years prior. And then we were on and off speaking. And then we were on and off going out. And then in 2009, we kind of got together in a serious way. And then 2010, I got pregnant.
Okay. So you've had a kid with this guy. What did you learn from that, looking back at it now with your mindset now and learning about all the stuff that, relationships, having kids? Because there could be somebody who's out there who thinks, I'm not sure if this guy is the one or not. Maybe if I have a kid with him, it will settle him out. It will smooth him out. Because sometimes
kids don't hold any relationship. I think that's not the correct way to think.
Some people think it fixes things. Oh, yeah, maybe if we have a kid together, I'll settle him down. It will make a man of him, or.
But then, are you truly happy though? If you need to have a child with someone,
what is truly happy? Like, some people don't even know
things
what's
flowing
happy.
Naturally. You don't have to think, oh, I need to have a child.
When does that ever happen?
In the beginning, everything is nice, and then I think communication is the big lack of what's going on nowadays in relationships. Is express yourself. If this is how you feel, tell him. Don't try to do other things.
And then he still don't listen. He does nice things one day, and then the next couple of weeks he'll,
maybe
be
that's
here,
not the man
there.
for you.
But then you're trying to fix him. You know,
Yeah,
this
when
is
you're
what we're
in
trying
love,
to
you
say.
do very silly things.
You know,
That
so
is
that's what I
true.
want to hear from you, from that experience, that there's a young girl who's sort of in that same sort of position, and she's thinking, maybe I'm gonna have a kid with this guy and he's gonna fix things, and I know I can do this. I'm a woman, I've got power, I'll have his kid, he ain't going nowhere. And then, you know, don't want to be in a situation where she's having kids from multiple different people, and
Yeah.
and then going, well, I have to, like, not my life is a mess, like, don't get me wrong, but in a situation where this is getting uncomfortable for this partner, I have to have routine with different people, or are my kids being treated differently by different men, and, you know, that sort of situation, you know.
Yeah.
And I know in today's day and age, you know, a lot of this is accepted and it's just normal and it happens more than it was back in the days.
Yeah.
But at the same time, wouldn't it be so simple if, you know, you met the man of your dreams and you made that right decision first time and kind of went on your
But
path?
how do you learn that? You learn that by experience. So I had to have my own experience to learn what's my requirements for now, for example.
Sure. But I believe, in my opinion, that you don't have to experience nowadays, because there's things like podcasts, there's things like audiobooks, and so much more around that you can absorb to change that mindset, what you spoke about earlier,
Yeah.
to be in the right gear to go, hey, I'm in that situation what she was telling me about. Why do I need to do the same thing she did to experience this, to know this isn't right? I'll just take her lessons and go, do you know what? Thank God I listened to that podcast today, because I've actually realized I'm going to put this guy through 2, 3 more tests, same result every single time, out of my life. And yes,
Yeah, but exactly. You have to. The thing is how much are you? I believe that no one changes for anybody. People mold and adapt to each other. That's what I believe. So you'll always be that guy. If that's the guy that she met, he's not going to change. She can't make him any different. He can mold and adapt to her, and she can mold and adapt to him. And then it's communication, is coming up with boundaries. What is accepted for you? What is not accepted in the woman's side or in the men's side? And if it combines, great. If it doesn't, then you shouldn't continue to push something that is not right. I had an experience myself where I kept pushing and pushing, and it was just never going to work. And the signs kept on coming, like trying to do things, and something would suddenly pop up. So it means
like what? Give us some
like
examples.
trying to, this was with the first father of my child, so trying to work things around, going through counseling and to speaking and to psychologists and stuff, and things would just not be aligned. The appointment would get canceled, or something would come up, or he would went out, got wasted, the next day he didn't show up. So things like that right away was just signs. The universe keeps on sending you signs of what is correct. I think that when things are meant to be, they flow naturally. They'll just happen naturally without anything around it that is showing you like this is not where you're supposed to be, and you should stop insisting. You have to listen to your inner self, and I believe in that. My decision to come to UK was a lot like, I think it was the universe that suddenly just told me, you need to stop. You need to stop overworking in Portugal. This is not the country for you. Go to London. And I moved here with 200 pounds in my hand. That's it. And it made me where I am today. So if someone else listens to this, be like, she's crazy, I would never do that. But it was that instant. It was that inner self that was telling me, go, do it. And I think you should listen to your inner self more. If you practice a lot of mindset, and if you practice a lot of manifestations, the universe will show you if that's the guy for you or if that's the woman for you. It will show you easily.
Do you think changing your external appearance help you get more power into a relationship? For example, like, you know, I'm a guy with a gut right now. I'm comfortable with this chick. She's always bossing me around. Next minute, I'm going to the gym. Man's getting a big chest, arms, doing
Yeah.
leg day, eating his protein. You know what I'm saying? The next one is like in a vest over summer. And she's like, "Damn, you're looking good, baby." Like, but do you think that enables, you know, a man to get a little bit more power? Or if a girl's going gym more, squatting more, getting them glutes on point, you know, like, do you think physical appearance changes a relationship?
Yes, I think so. Definitely. It changes a lot, because in terms of the relationship, if they're together, they should do it anyway. You should do it for yourself. You shouldn't lack, because a lot of what happens in relationships, people date for 1-2 years and they sit back and they lack. They lack on the relationship. They lack on keeping it good. They just sit back, relax, and they don't take care of themselves. And they lack on the body, they lack on health, they lack on working out. And that's when everything starts to deteriorate. So, yeah, it changes a lot when you change your body and your mindset. It changed me a lot.
So I've got something for. I want to ask you something here. So I've got a friend, yeah, and to me he looks like a Greek god. Yeah, he's got wicked pecs. He's actually got a six pack. He goes bulking season, cutting season. On cutting season, when he's competing on stage, he looks amazing. When he's bulking, he'll look better than I could ever look as well. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he's aesthetically sort of gifted. And he's trying to achieve certain things, but I just don't think he's looking in the right places. You know, he's trying to open a business. He's doing great in his PTing, but he's not getting. I keep trying to go, yo, bro, stop, stand back for a second. This is what you should actually do. And he's like, Grant Cardone, the 10X guy said this, this quotation from that. And it's like, you're going to the billionaires.
Yeah.
Get to step one. Like, you've got a good cash flow, let's get to here. And most recently, he's just got a hair implant done.
Yeah.
And I'm all about that. Do you know what I mean? If you can make your face look prettier with a hair implant, so what? You're taking some hair from there to there. Like, it looks better, you know, especially if that's what you want. But from there, he's changed his nose. He's gone for a nose surgery. And I'm like, okay, I can't really tell too much of a difference, but you've just broken your face. Somebody broke that face, tried to align it, because something's going on in your head now. And messaged him the other day, I went, bro, your hair's looking good. And he's like, thanks. And it's going to come back more thicker, more thick. I went, yeah, I'm just saying it looks good. I'm pretty sure it's going to get even better. I know you've done your nose job, but I'm not really going to say too much. And then he goes, yeah, I just need to get the teeth done now. And it's like, what the fuck is wrong with your teeth? And he's like, yeah. I just need to get some dental work and then I'm ready. And then I'm ready for what? It's like he is going through some mental trip that I need to change this. I'm like, where's you? Like, I was like, bro. And he goes, then it will be enough. And I was like, but what if you're enough right now? It goes, no. It's because, and he doesn't even want to stop and appreciate the journey of where he's at, what he's achieved, where he's going. What's going on there?
He doesn't like himself. That's what I believe. Maybe there's something mentally there. Maybe some trauma. Maybe someone told him something to bring him down. Maybe a past relationship. Or maybe he just woke up one day and said, screw it. I want to change. I want to change everything of who I am. As long as, to me, is a bit like, as long as you're doing it for you and for you to feel better within yourself, nobody else, or I'm going to get this done so I can get this and that. If you're doing it for you and to love yourself and appreciate yourself more, go right ahead. So everything is just, don't go into exaggerates. Don't say you're going to get one, then you get 8 surgeries. Or
at the moment, he seems uncoachable. I can't get through to him. I can't talk to him. And it's not my problem, and I shouldn't be able to try and fix anybody. But, you know, but
if he's your friend, you're going to care. My friends were the same thing when it came to me. Are you sure? What are you getting done? When are you stopping? What are you doing next? And it's all, of course, I thought about this for 2 years. It's not something that I decided to do from overnight. I was 2 years investigating, looking into clinics, looking into doctors, and making sure I would make the right choice and know exactly what I wanted to get done and how it was affecting me mentally.
So before we get into that bit, let's talk about your journey to how you got to that stage. So you grew up in Portugal?
I grew up in Portugal, yeah.
Right, okay. You moved out at 15?
Yeah, I moved out at 15.
So
lived internationally as well. I went to USA.
How did you move out at 15? Like, you need rent money and stuff like that.
I started working in a clothing shop. So I got a job in a clothing shop, and then I've got a landlord who let me move in without paying rent for the first month.
How?
Because they're nice. I come from a little city, so I'm not in Lisbon. It's not, so everyone knows everybody. So then I said, look, this is my job. I just started working. As soon as I'm paid, I'll pay you.
Hey, nothing's for free.
I know, but then he said, okay, well, just make sure you pay. And he let me move in earlier, and he knew my address of my work, if anything, so he could go there and claim the money anyway.
And how much is rent in Portugal?
Oh, I left. The wages were 485 euros at the time.
A month?
Yeah.
Okay.
And rent was like 300, 200 and something. Now is way more.
So how did you survive on 100 quid?
You don't. You struggle. And that's where everything went down. I had to work. I had to do 60 hours a week. I had to work morning till night and to get any extra money. So, yeah.
Okay. So how long did you do that for?
Since I was 15 until I moved to UK. I moved into UK in 2014.
Okay. And along this journey from being 15, you went to the USA, did you say first?
Yeah, so I was going to the USA already. My father lives in America, so I
Okay.
lived there. I finished school in America, in Valhalla High School. So I was living there in White Plains, New York.
Okay. And how was that experience?
It's amazing. I love New York.
Okay. What's the main difference between the city of New York and London?
The size. I just think New York is bigger and a lot of more people and the city that never sleeps. London is like similar, but it's just smaller. That's what I would say.
Is New York dangerous?
It can be.
You hear about guns and people just getting shot
Yeah,
on the
but
street.
yeah, I hear. See, when people talk to me about this, oh, but America is dangerous because there's a lot of crimes and this and that. You're comparing it to what? You're comparing it to, because when you want to discuss about that, I just ask, what are you comparing it to? Because London is a little city in America. So if you want to compare it, you need to compare it to big countries. You're comparing it to Portugal, where the whole country is just a state there. So, of course, it's going to be more of everything, but there's also a lot more opportunities.
Is it the same as hearing like someone's got knifed again in London?
Maybe. Is again, to me, it's just like you can't be compared. If you haven't lived there and you don't know how life is there, you shouldn't be talking, oh, but the crime rates are higher. Of course, but the amount of people is way higher as well. So if you balance things down, there's also a lot more opportunities in America that you won't have here.
What opportunities
Or
do you
Portugal.
have? What opportunities do you have in America? So maybe for yourself when you were there.
Well, my father is known in US. He built himself up there, so I would be able to meet some famous people and models and actors and stuff. I just never took that route because things didn't go that way.
What does your father do?
He's a hairstylist.
Okay. And so he works with celebs?
Yep, he did. He's been on MTV, The Wanna Be Show. If you Google his
Wow.
name, he'll show up
Wow.
and all of those things.
What's his
And
name?
he started with nothing.
Really?
Yep, zero.
So is he the parent that inspires you?
No, because we don't have a good relationship for a long time.
Why not?
No, that's no. Basically, my parents got divorced. I was very young. I was born with a tumor. I had a malignant tumor on my right ear. And my dad used to drink a lot and be very violent to my mom. Right. So then when I was in surgery, he was in a club on that day. And my mom went through all of the stages by herself. Then my dad was in the army for a long time. Then they got divorced. I was, I think, 2 years old, something like that. And then he went to work on the boats of Lisbon that go to America, just like Titanic. He went, he met someone there, and he fell in love with an American woman, and he brought him to US. And she was a hairstylist who helped him to cut, to blow dry, to color. And then he made up a whole fake story, and it worked. And that's it. And that's how he got known there. And that's how he evolved from being in the army.
What do you mean he made up a whole fake story?
He said he took the course in one of the best hairstylist schools in Portugal. No, he didn't. He did not. That's a lie. He never took a course there for hairstyling. And he said that he'd done his first cuts in his uncle's barbershop. My uncle had a grocery shop, not a barbershop.
So,
but it worked.
Do you believe in that fake it till you make it quote?
I think it has to be balanced. I believe in it for yourself, to believe in it and have positive thoughts and attracting law of attraction. I don't believe you should always be faking it, because then people are not going to find you real. So if you're having a bad day, you can talk about having a bad day. If things are not going as expected in terms of business or relationships, I think you should always be able to express that, because then people are going to feel more connected to you, because they'll be like, oh, okay, I was like that 2 days ago, so I can relate to her. Instead of going, her life is perfect, nothing compares to mine. I just had a really bad day yesterday. She's always having good days. So it comes across kind of fake of who you are. So I try to put things balanced. I try to do good days, not so good days, and yeah, just be me.
Do you think it affected you, your parents splitting up the way they did?
No, because I don't remember. So I've grown up with them being separate anyway. I've grown up going to USA on holidays in the summer since I was 3.
Was that a better relationship, having different relationships with your parents separately?
To me, it was good because I get the opportunity to go to USA every summer. So I was like, yes, I'm traveling to US. So I went every summer since I was 3 years old.
And you worked in the US as well?
No, I studied there.
To study
I
there.
finished school in Valhalla High School.
Okay, and what did you study?
Law.
And what was it like
Law and
studying in the
social.
US?
It's easier. It's much better. Compared to Portugal, it's much better.
Okay, how?
Because you learn a subject, then you'll do a test. In Portugal, you learn 3 months of subjects
Yeah.
and you do a test.
Right.
There is like you learn a subject, you do a test. You learn a subject, you do a test. And then they value your grades through that. Then you get report cards every week at home to see how you're doing in science, English, math. So you can always catch up on what's not going very well for you. Mm-hmm. So I think school there is better. It's easier.
So once you finished your law school, you decided to leave?
No, I had to leave.
Why?
I had to leave because I ended up being in a group home.
A group home?
Yeah.
What's that mean?
It's a place where they put children that go through either violence or they're violent themselves to parents. And then you stay there for a while. And then they either sort out your life until you're 21, because you start to become an adult there at 21, or you go back to your parents' house.
Okay, so you were violent?
No, my dad was violent to me.
Okay.
And they took me out of his house.
Right, okay. How do you think that affected you?
It affected me a lot, but I've kind of accepted it now.
But how did it affect you?
Because I didn't have a dad. He was never a present father. So I had to kind of... I felt before, now I've learned a lot from it and grown out of it. But before I would look when I would look into men, I would look to more in the father side of things, the father figure, the dad that's going to be there for me and support me and protect me. And it's not always like that. So yeah, I was in the group home for 6 months. And then the Red Cross of America contacted the Red Cross of Portugal and made sure I would be safe going back to Portugal, which... if I knew what I knew today, I would have stayed there, because I had the chance to stay in that group home until I'd be 21. And then they will settle me in an apartment and I would get a job. And by now I would still be living there maybe. So I should have taken that opportunity. But because I was very emotional with everything that happened, I just wanted to go home back to Portugal. So I wasn't thinking in the long term.
Why do you think that would have been a better decision?
Because I wish I could be in America. Because I love America. I think it would be better because there's more opportunities there. And back in the days, everything was still... there wasn't too much technology and things were more appreciated in terms of you being able to do anything or modeling, acting, or as a person. So I think that I would have a good shoot there. My dad did, so why wouldn't I? So I should have stayed there. But I think everything happens for a reason, and yeah.
So you came back to Portugal.
Yeah.
And you carried on there?
Carried on my life there. Started working in Portugal as a sales assistant in shops. And then I had different places because I never wanted to stay in Portugal. I always wanted to expand. So I've been to Germany. I worked in a restaurant in Germany as well. Throw myself to Germany. Let's go. Let's do this. Let's try. But it was horrendous. I hated it.
What was Germany like?
Oh, I don't even know, because I was always working. Like, it was work, home, work, home, work, home. I would start work at 6 o'clock in the morning, come out at midnight, sleep 5 hours, go back again, 20 minutes for break. That's it. Eat, quick, back to work.
So how did you have time for relationships?
I didn't. When I was in Germany, I wasn't in any relationships. Then I came back to Portugal. Then I went again to France. I have a cousin in France, but I don't like France. It doesn't inspire me.
Why?
Doesn't really. I don't feel like, maybe because of the French language that I don't understand much, but I just didn't feel the connection as I can talk English, I can go anywhere. So France to me wasn't the country that I was like, oh, I'm in love. I love Paris. I know a lot of women go, I want to go to Paris. I'm like, okay. Yeah. To me, it's like, I'd rather you take me to New York then.
I hear you. I've been to Paris 4 times and it's just
not.
You got the graffiti over there.
I do apologize.
Pissy streets over certain places. Like, it's not as I mean, there's better places in France.
Yeah.
I recently went.
I've been to Champs-Élysées as well.
Yeah.
It's nice, but It to me is not is fancy, but it's not the fancy things that.
Cannes is nice. South of France is very affluent. You got the yachts, boats, very clean, and they've got some
That's
pretty
nice.
places. But I'm sorry, but like I've even been ice skating on the Eiffel Tower and certain places, but it just doesn't have that
Oh.
that something about it. It just looks good with the Eiffel Tower sort of on a picture when you're there. What do you think of
To
that?
me, it's just like it's such a huge metal thing. Like it's not even that cute. It's not like in person. I'm like, okay, so this is the big thing.
Do you know that it used to be a big billboard? That's what it was
Yeah.
initially built for. And
But I think it's like people have fantasies about London as well. When I say to my friends in Portugal, I'm in London, they go, "Oh my God, Big Ben," and and I'm like, okay,
it's a big clock.
it's just there. so yeah.
But I do sometimes feel that I don't appreciate London as much as I should. We do have Big Ben.
I
We've got
believe in
Tower
that, especially when
Bridge.
you come from another country. I appreciate a lot of the NHS. People here criticize so much the NHS, and to me, it's like gold. Because you haven't lived anything else like I did, boy, you would love the NHS.
Yeah. Do you think British people are spoiled?
Yes, I do. I think, but then it's how they got brought up. They don't know any better. They haven't suffered anything or gone through struggles, which we shouldn't blame them for that. So, but yeah, I do think sometimes they just take the piss of what they have. They should appreciate it more.
I need more benefits. That's not right. The government should be doing this, that, other.
They have
But
so much help, is insane. It's insane here of how much help you get just because. And even
You have that
before,
passport.
you didn't even have to work for you to come and have benefits. Now it's more strict because of what changed. But before, boy, you come here, you have a child, that's it, you're sorted. They'll sort you out. And that in Portugal doesn't happen. No.
So tell us about your journey in terms of from Germany, Portugal, France. What brought you to the UK?
Oh yeah, so I was in a very crappy job, and then I was working a
What
lot
crappy job?
because I was doing a lot of hours and not getting paid. They would deduct some hours, and they would say they'll give me on days off. Then they would tell me, okay, do it because then we'll pay you. Then they wouldn't, and then there the laws are not very supported to you. So you either deal with it or you can go. That's fine. We'll get someone else.
This is in France.
Portugal. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I done a post on my Facebook because at the time I was only using Facebook, and I said, I'm so tired of this job. I can't stand this anymore. And then a friend of mine who I went to school with, which I haven't spoke for years, he comments saying, you need to come on holidays to London. So then I messaged him. I'm like, are you in London? He goes, hey, how are you? And then we catched up. We had a call. He's like, yeah, come on holidays. And I'm like, what if I wanted to move there? How is life there? Bearing in mind, I was literally getting, because I don't have a relationship with the first father of my child. So we don't talk. We haven't spoken since forever. He left me pregnant as well, or I left him. So I was just working, paying off the private school because there's no free hours like here of nursery. You get them, but you need to wait a long time. There's children waiting for years and they never end up getting it. So you have to pay private nursery. And my salary was just to pay the nursery, get food, and that's it. I would have days I wouldn't eat myself for my child to eat. So it was really that bad. So I was at that point like, I'll do anything. So then I'm talking to him and he's like, oh yes, I know someone who rents rooms. So she had a little box room and stuff, made me a very cheap price because she was Portuguese as well. So I was like, great. And then I got to my wage on that month. I converted the euros to pounds, which gave me 200 and something pounds, less than 300, not even close to it. And I was like, let's go. So I caught a plane, moved here, stayed in that box room, and then built myself up.
And how was you look after your child?
My child stayed with the grandmother.
Okay.
For a while.
Right.
Then he moved in here in 2019.
And how was that like growing, like being far away from your child?
It was hard, of course. I used to go there on holidays a lot. The good thing of UK is that I started working there. Like, when is your holidays? When do you want to be on holidays? I'm like, what? I just started working, but you have to book them. So I would go there a lot. Or if I would have 2 days off in that week, I would put them together and go there and always go and visit my child. So I was in and out of the country all the time.
Okay. So you come to the UK. What was your first jobs?
I worked in a pub in Waterloo. And then I've done my CV to put my experience in retail. And that's when I started to work in Westfield, White City.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice, nice, nice. So tell us the next half of your journey now that you came to the UK until now. What's been happening? What's been going on?
Well, then I went from sales assistant to store manager in good shops. I worked in Hugo Boss. But then I wanted my child to come and live with me. Then my child has disabilities, so I have to take care of him. And then it just wouldn't be working me having a job and being able to be there to assist my child with his disabilities. So then I stopped working in retail, and that's when I started to do my own business from home. And that's when I've met the whole network marketing situation and how you can earn money by getting teamies and selling products online and working from home, and you don't have to leave your house. And it was great for me at the time to do that. And that's what I started to do.
Okay, nice.
But then it wasn't my niche, and I didn't really like the fact that you have to recruit to earn more money and get people under you. So it all sounded not really of my thing. And that's when I opened my own business after I had the experience of my surgeries.
So what led you to go and have surgery, first of all?
Okay, so I've given birth to 5 children. So this goes way further back. So in 2010, when I was 20 weeks pregnant, I had a car accident, a major car accident. I had a stroke.
You had a stroke?
Yeah, I was in a coma for 2 weeks. And I fractured my waist, which meant that I couldn't have normal birth anymore. If I have any normal birth, I risk to not ever walk again. Any weather changes and everything. So I had my child with planned C-section at 37 weeks. I was pregnant of him when I had that car accident. And then they told me any other kids in the future, you need to have planned C-sections. You can't have a lot of contractions. So that didn't help because my body started to disfigure a lot because of that. All of the pregnancies that I had were risk pregnancies. So I had to stay in bed majority of the pregnancy. I couldn't take long walks. I couldn't exercise during pregnancy, any of that. I had weeks I stayed in hospital during the whole pregnancy. 2-3 weeks I would stay in there. And all of my skin just dropped. My belly, my legs, my arms, my bum, all my muscles started to deteriorate. Everything was hanging basically. So after I've given birth to my last 3 children, there's a quote that says there are people who die at 28, but they're not buried until 65, something like that. And that's how I was feeling. I was feeling like, that's it, I'm done. There's no more me. It's just mommy. I would wear like a tracksuit. I would go in my pajamas to pick up my kids and drop them off. Like that's how my self-worth was so below -1. So I didn't like myself. I didn't like anything. It would impact me a lot going through the plus sizes in the shop. So I wouldn't buy clothes at all. Like I just didn't like the mirrors, didn't have anything in my room to look at myself. I just hated myself from head to toe. And everything was hanging. So when I started to work out, I decided I'm going to start to work out. Maybe this will work. Because my friends were like, go to the gym. Everything's going to be fine. But it's not. So I went to the gym. I started to work out. And even my personal trainer told me myself, you can work out as much as you want, but the hanging skin will never come off because it's hanging. You need to cut it off. So I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, you need to go through surgery. Otherwise, that's it. My breasts, because I breastfeed all of my children until late. They love to breastfeed. So they've done it until 1 year old, all of them. And it was hard. So I had everything hanging. So then I was like, okay, he told me this. I'm still working out. Then I go to the GP. He tells me the same thing. Hanging skin is hanging skin. That's not going to come off. It was proper, like my belly skin was touching my legs. It was really bad. So then I was like, okay, that's when I've got into the surgery world and looked into surgery, which I was completely against it before, because I always thought that you don't need to change anything. You're perfect as you are. And then life slapped me in the face and went, here you go, experience it yourself. And then, it was mentally affecting me a lot. And I know a lot of women will say, oh, but you have kids, you took a big risk. But I wanted to give my 100% as a mother and as a woman. So I can't pour from an empty cup, like they say. So I wasn't happy within myself. I wasn't being able to be 100% motivated. So when I had moms saying, oh, come to the birthday party or let's go out and have a tea in the garden and stuff, I wouldn't feel comfortable to go. I wouldn't feel happy to go or looking nice to even be presentable as a mother to my children. And that's how much it affected me. So that's when I looked into surgery and I looked in and out of clinics. And I had, that's where I started my journey of doing surgery and getting my body done.
Okay, so where did you start? So you're saying, right, you started some self-development, you've started your own journey in terms of getting back in the gym, so you've tried to get yourself in shape, and then you realize, hey, my skin's lost elasticity.
Yeah.
There's no way for me to rein this back in. And I can sort of, empathize in that sort of way that, you want to look nice and tight, but things are not the way it is.
And I'm
you're
young.
quite young.
I'm like, it's not like I'm 50s or 60s and I have to just accept it now. I have to think that. So then I searched internet, Instagram, Facebook, tummy tucks, and
This will cost money. Where's that coming from?
saving a lot. But then I had discounts as well. So I had discounts on my surgeries. I'm a businesswoman. So I went, okay, if I get you this amount of people, how much can you discount me on that? If I promote your page, what can we do on that? So I had good deals, very good deals.
What was your first surgery?
My first surgery was a mummy makeover.
What's that mean?
It means you do the whole body. They call it mummy makeover if you had children. If you didn't have children, they'll call it Brazilian TT. So for women who don't have kids and they still have.
What does that stand for, Brazilian TT?
TT is tummy tuck. Brazilian is because of the bump when you get your bump done.
Right. Okay. So this mummy makeover, please educate me because I don't know nothing
Mummy
about
makeover, it involves tummy tuck, so taking off the hanging skin, doing lipo all over on your back as well, doing your breasts, breast uplift with or without implants, and getting the BBL. But then you can add stuff. You can do the inner thighs, you can do your arms, it's up to you.
And what's a rough price bracket that'll be, because that's a lot of work, right? That's a liposuction,
tummy tuck,
adding stuff onto my breasts.
So to anyone else, apart from what I paid, I would say it depends on the clinic, but it can go from 8 to 12,000, depending on what you need to get done, how
in the
big
UK?
you are. No, in Istanbul, Turkey.
Okay, and is Turkey the way to go? Are they better than the UK?
They are in terms of aesthetic. So they know more how to design the woman's body. I know they do it here in the UK, but here is a bit like, cut it off, that's it. There, if you go to a good surgeon, that I went for the second time, he's really good. He's a designer, so he will design the body. He'll make the curves, and he's more than just the surgery to take off skin or to do lipo, and however it stands, it stands. So he's more of an artist kind of thing. He molds more. So he does lipostructure, not liposuction. So he structures the body at the same time when he's doing lipo.
And what does that involve? Making small incisions and putting cannulas in and...
Yeah, so making small incisions and shaping the body. For the BBL, he'll grab the fat and shape it in your bum. I don't know how he does it because I'm not a surgeon.
And a BBL, is that when you implant a shape inside?
BBL is Brazilian butt lift.
Right.
So when you take the fat from your belly or from your legs, wherever you have more fat, and you introduce it in your bum.
So it's not an implant.
No.
It's just the redistribution
of the fat.
Of the fat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what.
Right. Can that be dangerous?
Yes, it can be if you don't do it in the right surgeon in the right way. So the surgeon that I use, he uses the cannula is point up, so the risks of getting into the veins is way less than a normal cannula that's just pointing straight. So whatever fat he's putting in the cannula is turned up, so the fat will come straight into the skin, not risking it going into the veins. But there's risk like any other surgery, of course.
Okay, so you got the mummy makeover done, and
mummy makeover, yeah,
and then you're happy now, right?
Yeah, I've got my first surgery done with the mummy makeover, and I was not happy.
Why?
Because they didn't do me the muscle repair. So when you have children, the muscles in your belly will start to spread. And when I woke up from surgery, I was swollen, which is normal. And I had an extra swollen place here. And I kept telling them, this is not normal. Why am I swollen here more than the rest of my body? And they kept on saying, you're swollen. Don't worry, you're swollen. And I was like, okay. So I had to wait until 12 weeks post-op to continue to say anything about it. 12 weeks go by, which is 3 months, and the bump is still there. So you pay, sorry about that, you pay for a mummy makeover to get the muscle repair. So basically they lift the skin up and they stitch the muscles together again to back into shape of how you were before even getting pregnant. And then I found out that they've never done muscle repair. So I paid a tummy tuck for nothing. So that really stressed me out. So I was having this body, and then this big lump here was like a square of my muscle, and that really, really got me stressed out. Then I found out that because of the way they've done surgery to me, they've burned some tissues of my muscle that they were not supposed to. So I had to repair my muscle regardless. I had to stitch it back up so it wouldn't loosen out and something riskier could happen, so my muscle could go anywhere around my body. So when I had the second assessment with the surgeon that I went to now, and he's a qualified surgeon and he's way better and he's really good, very well known in Istanbul, that's when he told me they didn't do muscle repair on you and your muscle is detached from the walls. So regardless, if you don't want to do surgery, don't do it, but you need to repair your muscle as soon as possible because that can be risky. So that's when I was like, if I'm already going to get cut again, because I'd done my second tummy tuck, I might as well just get everything done properly. And that's when I've got assessed with him. And I went for surgery 4 months after my first.
Wow. Don't they recommend you should wait 6 months
Yeah,
to a
they
year?
usually say that, but then it depends on a woman's skin because I was fully healed. I take collagen, so my skin was healing quick. Everything, my scars were healed, and the scars weren't very nice. So he said, your scar is too big, it's too wide. I can make it thinner, so I can correct your scarring. I can do a tummy tuck and repair your muscle and put everything into shape. And that's when I thought, okay, that's it. If I've already done one, if I already invested in one, if been through so much, even mentally, it's not easy. The recovery stages is not you just woke up and that's it, you're a Barbie. No, the recovery stages is draining. So I thought, if I'm gonna do it, if I already done it, I need to do it first for me to feel good. So that's when I thought, okay, I'll do the second one now.
And how much did the second one cost?
It was a special price because I've got a lot of people to him. I've
For-
got him.
For a normal person?
Again, it depends on how you are. If it's just lipo after you've done a TT, anything can go from 5 to 15,000. Anything in surgery, I would say.
Okay. And how did that make you feel after having that second one?
Great. Amazing. Because I achieved what I wanted to achieve. So it was great. He repaired my muscle. He done everything correctly. My scar, which was way thinner, now is you barely see it, and I'm still healing. Wow. So it's very, very nice compared to the first one. So he done tummy tuck and he done bump shape repair because they didn't shape me properly. They just injected the fat there and that's it. Off you go. So he molded my bump and made it look nice, and he done the tummy tuck with lipo, and it was great. It was amazing. I felt good.
Wow. Okay. And how has this changed your life?
In what way? It changed my life in so many ways.
Yeah.
So in self-confidence, self-worth, being able to wear things I never thought I would wear. It made me have more self-love for myself and self-growth. And yeah, like things just started to come, opportunities. So because I started to document my journey on social media, and I had 27 women messaging me at that time while I'm going through the surgery stages, because a lot of the things that I saw online is just befores and afters. Nobody tells you the stages of healing. So I thought, I'm going to be different. I'm going to document all of my stages, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, until 12 weeks post-op. I'm going to document everything that I'm going through, changing the garments, doing the draining massages that you have to do, draining massages 2 to 3 every week until 12 weeks post-op. So the fluid comes out and the swollen. And I started to document everything. And I had a lot of women contacting me, needing help. Oh, I'm going for surgery. I've never seen anything like you. Thank you for documenting your journey. I've taken so many notes. Oh, I never knew I needed to take vitamins before surgery or after. What is it that you take to help with the swollen? Like little things. And then I started to document everything. And that's when my friends started to say, you can earn money from that. You're giving free information. Open a business, do something like that. But then I'm like very open hearted and I wear my heart on my sleeve. So anyone who would contact me, I'll go, okay, take this, do that. And my friends are like, no, do a business, start charging people for those things because it's knowledge. You have a lot of knowledge now. You've learned a lot. And that's when I've opened my business and I introduced it. And I thought it's not like network marketing. I'm not working for anyone apart from myself and I can plan things in my own time. And that's when I decided to launch the whole business of what I've done. So I have the one-to-one calls where I just tell the patient everything that she needs, what to pack, what to take, what she needs to take after surgery, where she needs to go, especially if it's from here, London and UK. So I went to Alaya Aesthetics in Stratford and she's amazing. So if a patient doesn't have training massages booked, I refer it to them because she is a qualified nurse and she is incredible. She shaped my body so much. I'm so grateful for her. And then I help them with that. I assess them with that. Then I take them to where they can get the Colombian fajas because they need to be good fajas from Colombia, preferably. The material is better and pressures you more on the body for the swelling to go. So I take them to that shop as well. So then I just expanded things. So I just do that. I have the one-to-one calls. I have the companion services where I go with the patient to Istanbul and I'll stay with her 24/7. And this is something that is a big lack in Istanbul. It's not about clinic. It's just how they are. They're more like on the go. You got the surgery done. Good. Next. But they care, but they don't give that extra care.
Aftercare.
Yeah, aftercare. So someone for during the night, I'm there. To reach your charger, I'm there. To call your next of kin. So I'll ask, give me an emergency number. So I can tell them, okay, the patient has woken up. She's now in the recovery room. The patient has walked. The patient has eaten. So everything I can keep them updated because you're very sensitive. And sometimes when I woke up from surgery, not right away, I grabbed my phone and told my mom I'm okay. So it takes a while for you to wake up and heal from that. So I do that. I'll tell them the surgery has finished. She's in the room. She's okay. And then I help them with walking, help them to take the antibiotics and the painkillers on time, the water intake, because you need to drink a lot of water, and the walk. You need to walk a lot. And it's hard, especially when you had tummy tuck. You don't want to walk. You just want to stay in bed. So I have to go and kind of motivate them. So it's nice because I know what they're going through. I've experienced it myself, and I feel great helping women like this. It's amazing. The feeling that you get being able to help them and be there through their stages until 12 weeks post-op.
So how do you advertise your business?
Instagram.
Everything's
and mouth to mouth. My patients have spoken to other patients and other patients reach me out. And yeah, it's been like that so far.
Wow. And how do you balance your work life, motherhood? You know, you got 5 kids, you got a business there. Well, how do you balance it all
I've got 5, but it's only 3 of them who are little. So the other 2 are teenagers. One is almost an adult. So I balance with that. So I have their support and I have a family here that can help me while I go aboard and stay with my patient.
What's the biggest misconceptions that people have about BBLs and tummy tucks?
I just think they think... a lot of the people judge it because they think it's just, oh, she just wants to have a big ass. It's not really that, especially if you've been a mom and you know how much your body deteriorates. You have to look into it. How is it affecting that person mentally? And what is the reasons why in the back of their story? There's always some life story in those people. I think that the misconception is where you live. If you go to Brazil, having a BBL is as natural as you going for a coffee. Is a fact. People will be like, okay, so she had a BBL. Cool. So there are the 30 people that I know. It's where you are. So Brazil is very well known for surgeries. Colombian is very well known for surgeries. So if you go there and you have a BBL, it's not that big of a thing. Or, oh my God, I can't believe she did it. They'll be like, yeah, okay. So there's another 20 tomorrow. Because it's where you live and it's how mentally you are. It's just like other things in other countries that they do to them is just normal, basic. And maybe to UK or Portugal is not very well known, so people will judge and point. And when things don't go right, they just grab that. that person died from a BBL, that person died from a mummy makeover, but they don't show the good things that happen.
What's the percentage of people dying from something like that?
I have no idea. I know there's a few, but then again, this is what I keep on telling you. You need to know and choose the right surgeon. Ask for their diploma, their qualifications. Can that surgeon do surgery outside of Turkey? If it's a no, don't go. The surgeon that I've been now, he can come to UK and do surgery here. He can go to any European country and is qualified to do surgery in any European country.
Would you trust somebody from Brazil or Colombia? Certain people say you get opened up and they will steal your kidney.
But there's a lot of stories to that. That's also in other countries they can say that. I mean, again, qualifications is a must to me. I have to look into their qualifications and know exactly who I'm choosing and what I'm going for. Because I had the good and the bad experience. Now I'm very like, how is it done? Like this second surgeon that I've been, apart from the cannula being up, he does the BBL with an ultrasound. So he knows exactly where he's putting the fat. He can see it while the cannula is inside. There's a TV screen showing you the ultrasound inside the woman's bum.
Wow, so he knows he's not hitting a vein.
Yeah.
Or it's not going to
So
cause...
not a lot of surgeons do that. And he takes courses. He keeps on going and like he knows how to do the J plasma, which is the new technique now, where it attaches more of the skin to the muscle. And he went and he studied that, and he keeps on evolving, taking courses and studying about surgery. Other surgeons will tell you, no, we can't do J plasma, it's very risky. It's not risky. You just didn't want to take the course because you can't be asked. That's the difference. It's just like it keeps on evolving. I think plastic surgery within 10 to 15 years will be way more acceptable or as normal as anything else. That's what I believe.
On your recovery and how your body's changed and you're able to fit into different outfits, has the attention changed from the opposite? Okay.
I already had attention before. It's ridiculous. I had a man even approaching me while I was pregnant, 7 months pregnant and stuff. I knew things.
What sort of men?
Just a random guy just approached me on an off license, asking me if he could have my number. And I'm like, do you not see that I'm heavily pregnant? Like, no. It has changed a lot. I was expecting that already. I knew this would happen because of other women who I spoke with. But it can be negative. It can be very negative as well, especially if I'm a woman who is serious about relationships and about being with men and old school minded, etc. It's hard because the first thing they notice is the big bum. I want that, and that's it. So it's hard because of what you get. You can get good men, and then you can get men who are they just want to have sex. They'll hallucinate and try to pretend everything to get to that point. So it's harder. You get more beeps outside, which I don't like that. I get more people beeping at me in the cars and stuff, which to me is a bit disrespectful. I get approached more. I can be with my kid, and I was pushing the pram with my child, and there's a guy trying to get in front of me and my child. I'm like almost feeling harassed. I was like, you need to get the fuck out of me. Like, I'm with my child. What are you doing? It's like, oh yeah, you sexy mom. And that's horrendous. So I feel frightened sometimes. But then some people go, well, that's your fault because you got the body then. But it wasn't for them. It was for me and for my self-confidence and to be in shape of what I used to be, basically. It's not like I'm having a Cardi B BBL, right? Or boobs like Cardi B and stuff. I just wanted things into natural shape, natural projection. So, yeah.
I mean, can you, like, people must be DMing you all the time, right?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
So on a weekly basis, what sort of DMs are you getting apart from the people going, hey, how do I get a body shape like yours? Like,
in terms of men, there's men who'll message me saying, oh, you're so sexy. I don't reply. There's men who'll say, I love your body shape. I don't reply to those comments, but then there's men and women who can message me saying like, I love your journey. You're such an inspiration. Go ahead, continue to do you. And I'm still going to the gym. So I document the gym. I go to the gym 3 to 4 times a week now because it needs to keep in shape. And they'll go, I'm really happy for what you've done. You look much happier. And that's the type of respect of men and women that I like more. It's more like, you inspire me, you motivate me, you're doing very well, continue to do you, don't let anyone bring you down. So that's good.
You've been on a few podcasts as well. Do you ever feel that you're disrespected? Like as soon as you walk into that room, people look at your shape and they judge you?
No, not so far, no. On the comments on social media when the podcast is rolling, then yeah, I had some people commenting things that is just not necessary.
How do you deal with negativity?
I don't take it personally. I've learned a lot with a mindset for that. It's like, they don't pay my bills. Who are they to be talking about me? And I'm a strong believer that whoever is talking about you is below you. People who are busy and have their own life going, they don't have time to come and criticize other people. That's what I believe.
Yes.
Law of attraction.
It's true. You know what? Normally,
If you're a businessman or a businesswoman and you have so much in your hands, you don't have time to go and, let me go and criticize this woman on the podcast just because. No, that's what I believe.
It's weird because recently I had another business owner who I've known for quite some time through the gym. And somebody reposted one of my podcasts. I was on a podcast and they said, Sean, how did you make it 0 to 10 million in real estate? And I said, look, this is what I did. I worked in McDonald's. I did this. I saved my money. I put it in assets, this. And somebody from the gym who's a manager reposted that. And I was like, the next day, I'm always very present. I'm like, thank you for reposting that, by the way. Really appreciate it. No problem, Sean. You're an inspiration. Keep it up. I want to learn off you. And the next minute, Sean, do you know you have a few haters? I went, it's fine. Like, I've been on social media 2-3 years now. You know, people showing me hate currently. It's cool. And then sent me a screenshot. And I looked at the screenshot and it's somebody who else I've known in the gym for the last 7 years, giving them advice on how to buy a house, how to start their business, lease. This is what you can ask for your landlord. Supported their business by going to use the services in their business. And then that person is saying, what the fuck? Why are you reposting this asshole's podcast? He's earned his money from his dad or his daddy's money. Show someone who's got a real inspiring journey. And that kind of got me, because it was like, hey, I poured into you a little bit, I thought we were
But that will happen.
And
That will happen. I had clients who I helped and girls who I've advised and gave them information, free information. And then they're just hating. And then they started to just comment, oh, she had discounts, or oh, she didn't pay for the full surgery, or oh, she promoted them. Oh, she's speaking because she didn't have to pay the amounts we do. Well, you can do the same thing as I did. I'm not special. Talk to the clinic. Negotiate with them. What do you want for me to get this price? Or what do you want for me to be able to have a bigger discount? Do you want 10 people, 15 people, 20 people, 5 people? What can we negotiate? I'm nothing special. I don't have a father in Turkey or a cousin in Turkey that done me the surgery for free. Like, I approached him, I had a business conversation, and we got into a plan. That's it. We negotiated, and that's how things worked. It was beneficial to them. It's beneficial to me. And then they're hating and stuff. But it's people who...
Do you think other women are threatened of you? Like, I mean, you spoke about the positive women. Thank you for sharing your journey.
Yeah.
I mean, and the men who stopping you on the streets and going, yo, mamacita, you're looking all right, man wants to, But do you get like, I don't know, first, for example, men who are threatened of you are thinking, she'll own me in a second. I'm better not say the wrong thing to her. And other women basically looking and, bitch, please. Like,
but again, that's because they're not happy within themselves. There's what is going on with them for them to feel like that when it comes to me. That's what I believe, because I haven't done anything to them. So why would I be a threat to them? And if they feel like, okay, I don't want her around me because she looks too hot and sexy and I won't get the attention from men that I want, then your self-confidence is really low. You need to work on that. You need to work on your mindset, because it's not just body. It's more than that to a woman. That's what I believe. So, yeah. And in terms of men, is men that they don't have self-confidence themselves. So that's what I think. That's what I strongly believe.
A little bit off this topic now. how do you balance your relationships with your kids? You have you're the father of your children. How are you still with him?
No. So
Okay.
I'm single.
Okay, you're single.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people whistling at the screen right now. Damn, I'm gonna DM her right now.
Oh God. Yeah.
But how do you balance that in terms of the father of your children? One of your your
So
children
the first
is not
father of my
his.
child, we don't have any communication.
Okay.
It was decided by court. There's no contact because I was a victim of domestic violence with him for a long time. So no contact. He doesn't know anything about his child because he never wanted to know. And now with the father of my last children, we have a good relationship. It's shared care 50-50, that's what I believe. And that's it.
What's shared kid?
So 50% of the time he has the kids, other 50% of the time I have the kids.
Okay. And why did you split up? I mean, you had 4 beautiful children together.
We split up because it's just too many arguments. The things just started to, again, we got to points where the relationship just faded away and we got too comfortable and accustomed. And then the arguments just were ongoing, even before surgery. It was just a lot of misunderstandings and personalities just didn't work out. Nothing physical, nothing violent, but it just got too much mentally. And that's when I decided, like, it's enough.
But
This is
doesn't
not
he
healthy.
like look at you now still and going, damn, you're looking good?
Yeah, of course, but it's more than that. It's more than that. So we just decided to go our separate ways like that. It was too mentally toxic. It was too many arguments, too many misunderstandings, and different ways of parenting, and yeah.
So is it harder to get with a woman who knows so much about herself now? Like, for example, you're near mid-30s, you've got children, you've look after little people, you've been through so much yourself, emotionally, physically. To be honest, you probably know a lot of what you want right now.
Yeah.
But when you're younger, you're easily moldable. You can adapt with somebody and grow with somebody. But don't you think it's harder to find a relationship now where you know so much more about yourself?
Of course, it is hard, especially with my requirements.
What are your requirements?
No, it's just
List,
I
please.
expect now more than I expected before. I value now other things that I didn't value before. Such as a man with goals, a man with inspirations. Because I started the whole law of attraction journey and opening my own business, I don't want to meet a man that's going to tell me I stay home all day and I live on benefits. Like, no, you don't have any goals in life. You don't have any inspirations. Like, what is it that you want to do? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? I don't know. Okay, no, we can't. We can't work because unless he's willing for me to mold him and adapt him and go, okay, what is your goals? I'm here to help you and be like the Bonnie and Clyde kind of thing. Great. If it's not, then I can't be with a man who doesn't have inspiration or goals in life and is happy being on the low life.
What about physically? Like, what does he physically have to look like?
It's not all about the looks. Of course, the looks is going to be a first impact to men and women. You're going to feel that physical.
Well, you're not going to go for someone who's 5'3", are you?
You're gonna go first for that physical attraction.
What's the physical attribute somebody needs to have?
I'm not very. I want a healthy man. A man who has personal hygiene is super important to me. So you can have a 6-pack and he doesn't take care of himself, then I'm not gonna want that. So it's about a love, how you take care of yourself. And what are you doing to not be like that if you're not happy with how you are? Are you doing anything for it? Are you working out? Are you eating healthier? Are you drinking less? So it comes a lot to that. To me, is a lot more of their mind. Physical attraction is always there to men and women. I can't say I won't look at a man who has 6-packs and looks physically nice. But then again, is what do you have in your mind to get into a relationship stage? How are you? What is it that you want to do in life? Are you clean? Are you not clean? How do you take care of your children if you have children? What's the relationship with the baby mother of your children? Are you going to talk bad mouth about her? You're not for me. Like, no. So it all depends on a lot of things for a relationship.
And what sort of relationship are you going to be getting into with somebody where they feel like, I'm playing devil's advocate here and going, she's got 5 children. Like, there's a lot I have to put up with here. There's going to be, a couple of them are quite small, running around. I
Yeah.
have to share you with the children. I want her more for myself. There's a baby father involved. There's some days I won't be there and he's coming to collect them. Things are going through my mind, like, I'm not saying there's trust issues, but just a man being a man, he might be thinking 100 things in his head.
Yeah, it's harder. It's harder for me to. It depends on what type of man I meet, though. If there's a man who already has children, he knows how those things go. It's nothing new. He knows there's that time where the father will collect the kids, and that's just that. If it's a man without kids, it's harder because I don't want to have any more children.
Oof.
I do not see myself. It's not just because of my body, is the risk pregnancies that I have all the time. I suffer from epilepsy as well. I get seizures when I'm pregnant. When I'm not pregnant, I don't get seizures. That's how I found out all the time I was pregnant. I started to have seizures. I was like, yep, I'm pregnant. And I was. So there's a lot into the game. I'll say straight no, but I can't guarantee 100% I'll never get pregnant again. Now, with this point of mindset and how I am in my life, no. But I never know. Put it that way. So yeah, in terms of men, is they just have to trust me, and like I have to trust them. If they have children, they have their baby mother as well. They have their visits with the kids, and they have their time where they have to collect the children and be with them. And it goes both ways. In terms of my kids, I don't push my children to anyone. I will never put my children in a relationship that I'm not sure. So it will take a while for that man to get to know my children, any of them, to even say hi to them. No. Because I have to protect their feelings. I have to protect my children's feelings. So I'm just getting to know this man. And then, yeah, we'll see.
What should women be looking for in a man? So, with all the things that you've learned through your relationships, having children, and knowing things ain't right, if you had to do it all over again, what would you look for in a man? You're 18 to 21.
I would tell you to live. Don't get hooked up at 18 and 21. Live, travel, go out with friends, travel the world, think of your goals and ambitions, develop yourself first and before you get into any relationship when you're 18 and 21. No.
But the way the world is, people want relationships and stuff as well. That's great advice, by the way. But at the same time, women have a time limit with their, pregnancies,
Yeah.
the way their eggs ovulate, etc. And somebody who wants a few children is looking not less likely, but there's more complications.
Yeah.
I notice women who have kids in their later 30s, there's risk of disabilities or autisms and stuff, and that's not a statement right now. That's just what I've seen.
Yeah.
So women do have a certain time limit. I mean, you could be 40 and have a kid and have IVF and go down that road, and we'll clap for you, happy for you. That's your choice. But I also noticed that women who have kids at a younger age keep their body, their body recovers very
Child
quickly.
grows up and is their friend. Yeah.
Exactly. And so a guy might be going, well, you're less attractive because you're in your 30s now, whereas you had the 21 to 26 age where you were in your prime. I've got a new selection of girls to go for because as a man, I'm still strong and we age differently and look differently. What about in terms of somebody between the age of 21, 26 who wants to get into that relationship and say,
what should she look in a man?
Yeah. Sorry, that was a bit long-winded.
Their relationship with family. How are they with the family? Is it a relationship breakdown with the family? Always there's other reasons, like mine, for example. There's exceptions, right? But how are they with their mom, with their dad? What's going on if they have sisters or brothers? How do they protect their sisters? How are they with the family? And their lifestyle, what do they do? Not, oh, he's a doctor, great, go. No, like he can be an entrepreneur and have great goals in life and earn more than a doctor ever in his life.
Hell yeah.
Easy. So what's his ambitions? What's his goals? What does he want in life? Does he talk to you about goals and ambitions? That's what I will look into a man. What is their goals in life? What are they doing now to self-development? Are they healthy? They're like not 100% healthy, obviously, but are you like balancing your life? And that's what I would advise them to look for. Their relationship with family is a must. Their hygiene is a must.
What does that mean? You've said that a few times.
Brushing their teeth, taking care of their nails, how they dress, how they wash their hair. So it's very important because you have very lazy men and women who don't do that.
Nah, bro.
It's true.
What?
And their
doing
goals in life. What do they want to do? When do they plan to buy a house? When do they plan to buy their first car? What is their ambitions? What do they want to achieve?
Women don't care about that. They think that's boring. They want the guy who's a drug dealer who got the fat car now.
And then they get
talking
heartbroken.
Rude
They get cheated on.
yeah, he's cool. He's alpha. They want that.
But
the good guy who's studying and got a job and at uni and got his driving test and driving a shitty little KA car, but that's a legit car that he's bought and gone through the ranks. They don't care about that.
Is that
guy.
women
He's
or is that
boring.
girls though? How much they have grown? That's what you have to
So
think.
let's put the shoe on the other foot. What should men be looking at in a woman?
The same thing. How is she family orientated? If it is to settle, we're talking about a serious relationship, not just dating around.
But she's beautiful and she's got these one little bad traits where she occasionally goes here and here. I don't like it, but I'm going to rein her in because, she's going to have my kids, but I love her and I can't afford to lose her. And every guy looks at her and I don't want to lose her, Then what we doing? Like, what advice are you giving to that boy?
He needs to be, if she reassures him that he's the one, then she's ready to mold and adapt to him. And the same way, it goes both ways. Like I said, people don't change for
Honey, I love you, but there's certain things I want to do and I will be ready in a few years, but this is good, but you got to let me be me and do some of my stuff.
Then don't wait for someone like that because they're not putting you as a priority in their life. That's another one. Prioritize that person. Are they putting you on your day-to-day life? They're not. Let them go.
Oh, but you're stopping me from doing what I love now.
But if the man really likes it, depends on what it is that she wants to do, though. If it's in terms of goals and ambitions of work and business development, then he should be there to support her. And he should know it's going to be shorter times that he can be with her or talk to her or have more quality time together. But it's the bigger picture. Are they building this together? Are they imagining themselves together? Are they planning to marry, settle, and live together? Then things will come.
What about parents? What about parents getting involved in your relationship? There's been women who a guy's been like, hey, I love this girl, but every time her mum gets involved, bruv, like the mum just in her ear, and it's just like
that's a bit more complicated. I never had experienced that, thankfully. But it can be drained. I had I did on the other side. So the father of my first child, his mom, Lord. But, it didn't work out anyway. But yeah, it can be a bit draining. I think you should have communication with the parent. Try to understand what's the problem with the parent when it comes to you. And then see if you can have a relationship with that person. If not, then you just need to balance time.
I've heard other parents say, you don't want to be with that girl because her mum is that woman.
Yeah.
And trust me, sooner or later, she will ruin you.
Yeah. Be the same.
And guess what? We'll lose you and you'll be adhering to her and her mummy, and you won't be happy.
Yeah. Well, but again, the parent, at the end of the day, it's our own lives. Like my mom can have an opinion on my partners. I'll take it in consideration, but I'm not going to fully make decisions on that. She has her life. I have mine. It's my life at the end of the day. Who I'm going to live with, who I'm going to share a life with. Even my children can come. I don't like that guy. Okay, to what point? You don't like it? Why? Because it's just a guy and I'm seeing someone and you're jealous? Or there's anything that is triggering you not to like him? Then that would make my decision if I would date that man or not. It's not like, oh, I don't like him because he's a guy or you're not with dad. Then I can't stop my love life because of that.
Don't you think it's different now, like times have changed? Like I noticed like some old school people who they're old women and they're alone. And it was like, hey, so how comes you're alone? Because my husband died when I was like 39. And it's like, oh, okay, cool.
I admire those women.
And it's like, okay, your husband died at 39, so didn't you meet nobody? No, I would never meet anybody else.
See, again. I don't fully believe in that, though.
Why?
I just don't. I cannot fully believe that a woman has lost her husband at 30 or 39 and has never ever been with anyone in any type of way, shape, or form. I'm not talking about being serious in relationships, but I don't believe they never had anything at all ever again until they die. Some women do, and maybe that is true, and I admire them for that. And I'm like, hands up, okay, very well. But I think society and nowadays, moving forward, I don't think a woman will do that.
How do you think online dating's changed things? Because the access to a partner now is
A
so much
lot.
easier.
It's just swipe. It's changed a lot. Men and women have changed a lot in that.
Can you meet your future partner now online?
But see, it depends on how you take the online dating. Some people take the online dating to casual sex or easy sex, or let's go straight into the. Other people, they don't have time. They don't have time to meet someone. They don't go out as often. They don't know the friend of a friend. They have a very busy, strict life. So they'll go to the online dating apps to meet someone because you're in a big city. It's not like you're going to cross by someone today and your chances of seeing that person the same time tomorrow is zero, because it's a big city. They might have just crossed on that road and they weren't going that way anyway. So it depends on how your lifestyle is. If you're busy like me, I'm very busy now. I'm always up and down, podcasts or traveling or doing other things at home, being with the kids time as well. So I don't go out clubbing a lot, if at all. So I might go to a shisha bar, have a business meeting, I'm working. I might go to a shisha bar with a friend of mine, I'm with my friend. I'm not there with my friend and I'm going to be looking, who am I going to meet tonight? So the chances are lower. So me going into dating apps is probably something I would do to
So what
meet
comments
someone.
do you get on dating sites?
But I'm not doing it though. I'm not there because at the same time, I don't really fully believe in dating app to meet the one, basically. Because it's just physical expectations is the first thing. And if I put pictures of me, they're not going to swipe and want to get to know me. They're going to swipe and going to call me sexy and my big bump and when are we going to meet so I can fuck you, basically. They're not going to look into me in that way.
So where do you find your partner now?
I don't know.
Is it one of them ones he'll find you?
Yeah, I don't. I'm not looking. If that's, I'm not looking to meet anyone. Of course, there's the whole feeling lonely and the physical needs, etc. But I'm more like I'm very business orientated now. I have my mind into goals that I want to achieve within my business and within the opportunities that I've had since having surgery, from modeling, photo shoots, acting. So all of these things, I want to take opportunity of and focus on that and my children and achieving other things that I'm going through at the moment. Then I'll have time to go out, meet men, or go into dating apps, or give it a shot, or try something. So yeah. But if something happens in the meantime, you never know. I might come across someone that I've met through the acting, the shoots, the modeling, the podcast work. I don't know.
Someone on your journey.
Yeah.
Who's on a similar path. I get that. You've been amazing on this podcast, by the way. Thank you for sharing so much.
Having me.
What is your real message that you want to give to somebody on this podcast today?
To always follow their dreams. Never give up. Continue. Daily. Stay consistent. Discipline is higher than anything else. You have to be disciplined within yourself. This is what you want. Do it and do it and do it. And every step counts. Every up, low, up, low, up, low. That's what will bring you to the top and you'll appreciate it more.
Amazing. Raquel, if you could just look straight into a camera and just let people know how they follow you, that'd be great.
Yeah, so you can find my Instagram as Raquel Dias with an S, 2 S's, and a J. And all of my journey will be there. If you want to know anything about my business, you can inbox me as well. And thank you so much for having me here today.
And there you go, guys. I really hope you really enjoyed that episode. It was a different one, but I promised you there was going to be a lot about mindset, motivation in this one. And, you know, a strong woman who's entered into the entrepreneurship world. So please do share this with somebody who might need this, who wants more confidence, who might need Raquel's services. Leave us a comment. If you have a comment for Raquel, please, I'll make sure she'll get it. We'll put all of her details in the description of how you can follow her too. And don't forget to smash the like button. But until next time, peace.